Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, and around the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So, straight in the updates tonight, viewers. The Scarborough General Hospital in Tobago is in emergency mode due to a surge in admission that has filled its medical and surgical wards. The Tobago Regional Health Authority declared the status on Tuesday night, suspending elective surgeries and urging the public to avoid the A&E for minor issues. Health Secretary Dr. Faith acknowledged the strain on staff and resources. She said, longer patient stay have reduced bed availability. The Ministry of Health confirmed no similar surge in Trinidad and is monitoring the situation. Tobago Hospital has 130 beds, making it vulnerable to fluctuation in occupancy. There's one, viewers. Update number 2. Starting August 15, 2025, Caribbean Airlines will offer non-stop flights between Dominica and Puerto Rico up to 3 times weekly, and more non-stop flights between Dominica and Trinidad with onward connection to New York. On a release, the airline also launched additional Trinidad-Miami flights from June 19th, operating Thursday and Sunday to meet high demand during the vacation season. You know, we as Trinbagonians, we love to travel during the vacation, July-August holidays. So Carl has decided to add on more flights just to accommodate the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, we're going into some current affairs news now. Cabinet Trinidad and Tobago, you will love this one. All the field side is come here and just make noise. But no, let me tell you something. This is the only show in Trinidad and Tobago that will just push for something and get it done. For the last 8 years, we have been doing that. And you, the Trinbagonian citizens, have noticed that. Even those in outer countries who is watching Real Talk with Saeed in a different country would know when we at Real Talk here push for something, we just get it. Listen this. Cabinet has approved the amendment to the Motor Vehicle Traffic Act. Speaking at a post-cabinet briefing on Thursday, Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zakur revealed the current number of violations and demerit points under the Act. Listen to this.
Under the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act 4850, there are currently 99 violations or offenses. 69 carry demerit points, 63 violations, and 6 criminal offenses. Cabinet has approved the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Amendment to the 9th Schedule, Order 2025.
Now, viewers, the minister also says once he signed the order, the act will be amended by deleting the demerit points from all violations, including the 6 criminal offense. Listen to this now.
Those 6 are driving while disqualified from holding or obtaining a driving permit, driving while under the influence of drug, driving or being charge of a vehicle with your blood alcohol level exceeding the limit, failure to provide a specimen of breath or blood, failure to submit for breath analysis, and careless driving.
So Trans-Tobago, I'll read that again. The minister says once he signed the order, the act will be amended by deleting the demerit points from all violation, excluding the 6th criminal offense. So you have heard some of the offense that the demerit point will not come off. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago is something we have pushed for. I mean, if you're driving drunk, I can't blame them if they hit your demerit point. I can't blame them for that. You understand? But nevertheless, viewers, most of the charges, you will not get demerit point. So we understand that. We understand that and we're okay with it. I am okay with it. So I'm going to let my director play it one more time so you all will understand what Mr. Eli said.
Those 6 are driving while disqualified from holding or obtaining a driving permit, driving while under the influence of drug, driving or being charge of a vehicle with your blood alcohol level exceeding the limit, failure to provide a specimen of breath or blood, failure to submit for breath analysis, and careless driving.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, that is some of the criminal offense that the demerit points will be added on. So, if you know you don't want the demerit points, be careful on the road. That is all we can say. Be careful on the road. I did as much as I could for us, the citizens. Now, going to our main stories tonight. Former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is in full agreement with the Prime Minister's decision to raise the level or the legal age of gambling and marijuana use to 25 and over, and alcohol use to 21 and over. The announcement was made at Monday's UNC report in Penal. PM Kamala Prasad Bisesa said the law will be brought to the parliament. The former top cop said, despite the criticism that the government may face from this, it's in a step in the right direction for youth development. He complained that under the current law, where persons who turn 18 are considered legal, too many youth are in place they should not be. Gary.
Many parents allowing their minors to go out on a Friday night. Arapita Avenue is littered with more persons under 18 years old in bars and clubs and restaurants purchasing alcohol than persons over 18 years old. Let's not talk about all those fetes they have in Brian Lara Stadium, the recent fete they had in Tobago, carnival fetes, band launchings, all-inclusive carnival bands. Who there, which bartender, which bar owner, which security officer, which police officer would stop and arrest persons from doing that? They don't. It does not happen.
Now viewers, Griffith said, this is more of a culture than anything else. And excuse or executing of this new law is more important than its implementation. He compared North America laws. Listen to Gary.
I remember my son was 20 years old, 11 months, 29 days and 30 minutes. It was 11:30 p.m. before he was going into a nightclub. And they looked at his ID card and told him he needs to come back in half an hour. You know why? Because there are consequences. If you allow a minor to go into a nightclub, into a bar, into a restaurant with alcohol and you're selling alcohol to them, you can lose your license. That is how serious it is up there. We need to do the same thing. We need to build that culture.
Now Trinidad and Tobago, too many young individuals are caught up with alcohol. Too many young individuals, when you drink 2 beer or 1 beer, you cannot control yourself. And being 18, 19, 20, drinking 2 beers and can't control yourself, that's madness. That's madness. So what Kamala is doing, she's making sure that the youths understand responsibility at a young age. And I don't blame her for that. Now, Gary, he advised police officers to do their duty and enforce the law when necessary. So question for tonight, do you agree with the Prime Minister's decision to raise the legal age for gambling, marijuana and alcohol? Let's hear what you have to say, viewers. as our show goes on. Switching gears. Although the opposition is not against increasing the age limit when it comes to the consumption of alcohol and marijuana, it is calling, however, for greater transparency before they can support the bill. Speaking at the PNM conference on Wednesday, Opposition Senator Saieed Ali made a plea with the government to inform the public of the legal consequence of this amendment. Faris.
We call for the data on the adjustments to the marijuana utilization by age, for alcohol as well. We ask what the legal consequence is going to be. Where are you diverting people who are in offense to the law? Are we going to be driving children into an underground, or young adults into an underground economy which will exacerbate crime and security?
No, Faris, no, Faris. Calm down yourself. You go get the dress now. Relax. Now, viewers, he said, the government must consider that young people won't be able to acquire a certificate of character, nor a job if they have conviction, and instead offered suggestion. Listen to this.
Are they going to go into drug treatment? Are they going to go into peer resolution? They're not children, so there's a problem inside of there. What do the racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic dynamics demonstrate in that data pool? What are they? Who are going to be affected? How are we going to enforce the law?
So I want to say, Trinidad and Tobago, would you allow your 18-year-old son to smoke marijuana? Would you allow your 19-year-old son to smoke marijuana? Would you allow your 19-year-old son to drink 2 beer and walking down the village and cussing everybody? Would you allow that as a parent? No, you would not. You would not. The UNC administration is putting things in place as we call a youth of responsibility. That is what they are doing. If they catch you drinking at a young age, who fixing that? The parents? Parents can't even control their children when they go to school. What do you think they're going to tell them about drinking alcohol? Leave them now, they're young. Really? But when they go in school now and bully some other children, and somebody else deal with your children, you want to go and deal with the person who they beat up. Serious? Nah, I don't think so. Responsibilities are a heck of a thing. If they catch you drinking alcohol, there is something they call AA meeting. Go to the meeting. Go to the meeting. You see, we have too much delinquents in Trinidad and Tobago who rather sit on the block and drink 2 beer than go to work. That's what we have. Nobody taking responsibility into their own hands. And under the PNM administration, nobody was responsible. Trinidad and Tobago almost went haywire. We almost went haywire. We have the Prime Minister, Kid Rowley, former, saying, meet money pavement, we're going to deal with this. That is leadership? No. No, that is not leadership. Faris, he called on Attorney General John Jeremy to take a look at the National Youth Development Agency, which he described as a very good law in the Legislative Review Committee. Faris, one more time.
We left a very good law in the Legislative Review Committee, and that is the National Youth Development Agency, where we deal with how we treat with young people, both on a voluntary standard and on an involuntary standard where the courts refer you for national service or other positions. There's an excellent law that was intended to treat with that cohort of people that find themselves in difficulty.
You know one thing I would say about Faris? When the UNC brings something, he always have an answer back. Always, right? But what about when the PNM was there? You all refused to fix anything. The PNM refused to fix anything in Trinidad and Tobago, but everything now is a problem. Why? Why? So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, Firearm Expert backs FUL reform. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to shout out some police officers from the Highway Division in DAB. So Inspector Jitman Singh, Sergeant Lokul, Corporal Chedi, Sergeant Harry Lal, and also Taliban. These are very hard-working officers, viewers. They are from the Highway Division. They are based in Debe. I just want to give them a little shout out tonight. Let me tell you, some really, really hard-working officers. When I say you can trust them, you can trust them. They're on the road every day, making sure Trinidad and Tobago is safe. That's what I like about these officers and them. Also, we have some officers that shout out from Mayaro district, but in the other 15 minutes of the program, viewers, we're going to shout them out. The local firearm industry is in agreement with Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa that the process of obtaining a firearm user's license often depends on the discretion of individual police officers, even when application meets all listed criteria. This is very, very true. Now, Contracted for Comments firearm expert Paul Nahus shared his take on this and says additional measures are needed to ensure that every applicant is treated fairly and assessed based on their merit of their need for an FUL. Listen to this.
So the Prime Minister is quite correct in what she has said, that there are persons who have been denied a firearm license simply because there was some type of bias introduced by an investigator. They would have fulfilled all the criteria, all the documentation, and in some cases, and not in the majority, in the minority, but in some cases, an investigator may have arbitrarily not recommended them because of introducing a personal bias that was not explained or cannot be explained. And the commissioner, based on that, because the commissioner does not go himself or herself to investigate, they have to depend and lean on those recommendations. And based on that, the commissioner would have done what he or she thought was correct in denying. Now, there is a need for proper rationale and proper objective measure.
Now, viewers, Nahu said he has worked with several clients who complain about the slow process and the lack of transparency around their rejection.
There is also cases like this where, I represent people before the appeal board. I have several clients before the Firearm Appeal Board currently, where investigators would have duly recommended them and properly recommended them after, in some cases, multiple investigations they were put through by different investigators due to, of course, lags in the system. And they would have still been denied by the commissioner for an arbitrary reason or something that is not in line with the purpose of the investigation and so on. So there are different things that need to be addressed, such as the standardization of the investigators' reports and the review of it. Those things need to be standardized to pick sense from nonsense. And I know that the government is looking to change legislation. It's yet to be seen what form that would take.
Hello? Sticky, get it click. So Trinidad and Tobago, meanwhile, speaking on Stand Your Ground legislation against home invasion on Monday, the Prime Minister said the Home Invasion Bill 2025 is drafted and ready to be issued for consultation. It will be presented to the Cabinet on Thursday and brought to Parliament in September. When the legislation is implemented, Pasal Bisasa said amendment will be made to the Firearm Act to make it easier to access legal firearm. Listen to this.
So then you can legally rock it back, empty the clip, legally, to defend yourself, to defend your family, to defend your home, your property, and your loved ones. We believe that once a law-abiding citizen has the necessary documentation in order, that citizen should be allowed to obtain a firearm permit.
When she said empty the clip and stand your ground, I remember Renuka, Sagram Singh, Cinder lady. She telling Trinidad and Tobago that they ain't supporting no stand your ground legislation. She said them was ruling the parliament, which means the PNM ruling the parliament. So I wonder if a bandit ever went in Sagram Singh house. I wonder if Sindura somebody ever stick a gun to she head of she family. I wonder if she ever had to walk the road in fear or travel in fear. We don't even hear about Sindura again. All he talk on platforms. Where are they today? Where are they today? Have they done anything for Trinidad and Tobago? As I say, I wonder if they ever went under a real gun. It's sad, eh? It's sad. My son was almost kidnapped, so I know how it feels. So stand your ground is something I have been pushing for too. And that is always say, drop my fence. Me a study no minister, me a study no police, and I killing your stone dead. I just tell everybody that on national television, drop my fence, I'm dealing with you. I'm dealing with you. I don't care who you is. Call her good night.
Good night, my lord. How are you going?
Prem, the call to distorted. I'm sorry I can't take it. I barely hear you. I just recognize your voice a little bit. So viewers, last Thursday, Police Commissioner Alyssa Grovero received all pending firearm application files that contain valid supporting document for approval. These files were then returned to the Police Firearm Permit Unit for assurance. So Trinidad and Tobago, like I said, from inside sources, Grovero is working. We just need to give him a little time to settle in office. It wouldn't happen 1 month. It wouldn't happen 1 month. 2 months, 3 months. Let me tell you something, the man is going to get things done. He is, thus far, he is working. I have my connection and I tell you the man working. You ever call it? Call it good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program, and I know you're very happy tonight, just as many of your viewers and supporters of your program, they are very happy tonight. So those offenses that are retained, very happy with that. Everybody happy with that. Many citizens are happy with that, and we have no problem with that. And you fought a good fight, and we win. But some of the callers and viewers of your program, they want the minister to add to that list these brain dead who passing up and down the road and want the citizens of this country to suffer from mental health issues. They must be added to that list. So I hope the minister, and I know, Mr. Said, you getting so many things done in this country. You're going to get it done.
Yes.
But we just have to talk about it now. And as you know, if you stay dumb and silent, well, you support the crime and so on in the country. So you and your program, you're pushing and you're talking. People highlight it on your program, man, and you're doing a great job, man. And I want the citizens of this country, the viewers of your program, tell your neighborhood, your brother, your sister, your family, this entire country where you all live, to sit down at 7 o'clock evening, the school children, and look at Real Talk, where they will learn so much about current affairs. They will learn so much about the past politicians who destroyed this country so badly, and they are shameless. Every day they criticizing and condemning everything in this country. So citizens of this country, you all get on board and look at Real Talk. Mr. Sai, God bless you and your staff. Keep up the great work you are doing to make this country a better place for all of us.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back from this break, Beckles, what did Moody visit cost taxpayers? We go have some bacchanal after this. When Moody come down, when Prime Minister was in power, Kid Rowley, did he give us the cost? More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember, Real Talk is offering 5% on a fixed deposit. Interest up front, viewers, you cannot go wrong with that. Like I said, it would not be around for too long again. Those of you who want to invest, now is the time to invest. Also, viewers, Real Talk Group of Company recently purchased a yacht, right? And I am just doing 1 or 2 little neaten up on the boat, you know, touch up, bring it up to my standard. So very soon, viewers, you have the video? Very soon, Real Talk Legend yacht will be available for rental. Yes, you heard it, for rental. So we have a yacht on the water, viewers. We had a little while now, you know, but I just decided have a boat put on doing nothing. I mean, we could make some money with it down the island. Down the island. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand something. When Real Talk does down the island tour, majority of the money that is being made from this boat, when you hire this boat or rent this boat to go down the island or to go on a cruise, almost 50%, 60% of the money will go towards charity. So for the month of July, August, whatever rental we get from this, we want to be able to help school children or the less fortunate family with school books and uniforms and shoes. So hopefully by next week, viewers, our boat by next weekend, viewers, the boat will be ready for rental. And like I said, whatever rental we get from July, August, we are going to try to help school children, the less fortunate, with their books to go back to school. Kamala said children will be getting laptops, but we're going to try. We're going to try school books, bags, uniform, whatever it is we can assist with, we will try our best. Like I said, Trinidad and Tobago, whatever rental we get in the July, August, we're going to try to assist. So those of you who wants to be part of this, call me, 339-1670 side. We want to rent the yacht. We're here is for going to charity. Let me tell you something, I will be most pleased. I will be most pleased. Most of you know, every month, every 2 months, we give away almost $100,000 in hampers, grocery, we just give out. I do not call names, I do not show people a house. That's not my thing. Putting people on the spot for food, nah, that's not my thing, We just give it out. People receive sometimes every month, every 2 months from us. And you know, me being a Muslim, I believe in charity. Charity is a pillar that I grew with, and that is just me. So viewers, from next weekend, the next Monday, the boat is going to be available for rent down the island, tours. You want to support our drive for the July-August vacation? From next week Monday, we're going to start it. So, I have some officers in Mayaro I want to shout out. These officers, let me tell you something. They're working very hard to make sure that Mayaro is safe. Mayaro CID. Officers from Mayaro CID. The TTPS K9 Unit Coordinator. Senior Superintendent Paponet. And Supervisor Sergeant Mohammed, Corporal Jaikaran, PC Ram Kisoon, PC Sarabjit, PC Sutherland, WPC Francis, PC Megur, I hope that's the correct name, WPC Mentor, PC Francis, PC Ramuta, WPC Ali, Ram Harak, we have WPC Charles, and PC Filbert. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, these officers, right, together with the TTPS K9 officer, had a raid on Sunday gone. They held 3 individuals with firearm, drugs. So I just decided to highlight these officers, right, tonight to let them know, well, hey, even though side in the central, we appreciate what all they're doing in the Mayaro area. From the K9 unit, we have Scott, WPC Pierre, and the dogs. So Trinidad and Tobago, they went on a raid Sunday gone, they get shotgun, they get cartridge, some with drugs, some with guns. They made a nice turnout last week. So viewers, I just want to shout out the officers from the Mayaro CID. So tonight we just want to big up you guys. We know you're working overtime, trying to get things in place, trying to make sure Trinidad and Tobago is safe. So you all, when you go out, be safe. Always be alert. That's one thing. Always be alert. So viewers, in the coming weeks also, we are going to shout out police officers in Trinidad and Tobago who are trying their best to keep crime down, to keep the community safe. We have decided to do that. So if there are stations in Trinidad and Tobago, or they're making raids throughout Trinidad, you want to get a little shout out, you want Trinidad and Tobago to know that, hey, trust TGPS, we're trying to get the job done as best as we could. Remember, they have family also, viewers. And every day they come out to work, they risk their life. They risk their life. But nevertheless, they have taken the oath to try and protect. I can't say protect, they're trying to protect citizens. Even though their motto is to protect and serve, they're trying their best. But nevertheless, as we go back to our program tonight, Opposition leader Penelope Beckles has called on the government to tell the country, echoing, to tell the country the cost to taxpayers for the last week official visit by India Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After criticizing the government for putting CPEP workers on the breadline, Beckles said the cost of Modi visit from July 3rd and 4th must be publicly disclosed when the parliament resumes in September. Listen to Beckles.
But we are waiting very patiently, because when Parliament opens again, they will tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago what it costs to the taxpayers for the Honorable Prime Minister of India to visit Trinidad and Tobago. It is very interesting that you come to the Parliament and you tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago the PNM spend out everything. The economy crash. We have no money. We waiting. Pay attention.
So now, Penelope, I want to ask you now. When Modi visited Trinidad and Tobago, when Keith Rowley was the Prime Minister not too long ago, did you all discuss how much it costs taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago? Did you all tell Trinidad and Tobago how much it cost? I believe no, you all didn't. You all didn't tell Trinidad and Tobago how much it cost. But you're trying to tell UNC Prime Minister, you have to tell the citizens. Wow. It's just wow. So what I want you to do, Penelope, is do a little research, do a little book work. It was in the PNM administration when Modi visited Trinidad and Tobago. I believe it was May last year. May last year. When Modi came to Trinidad to meet Prime Minister, how much did it cost taxpayers? So go back, do a little paperwork, come and tell Trinidad and Tobago how much it costs taxpayers, and maybe Kamala will tell us how much it costs. You see, there's something that the old people used to say, and we use it as a present day term. Do so and like so. Me a vex in a penny. Trinidad and Tobago must know how much it costs. Taxpayers. For the third and the fourth when Modi visit. But what about when he came on the prime, when Rowley was there? Come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago now. Come out! The PNM political leader accused Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar of political hypocrisy over Modi's visit, citing the award of the India Prime Minister of the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, ORTT, the nation's highest award. She went on to criticize the government use of diplomatic center in St. Anne's during Modi's visit. Beckles said, on assuming office, the Public Utility Minister Barry Pazarad had publicly declared the same building as unfit for use. Listen to this.
Remember what he said? It is unfit. This ain't working, that ain't working. Where did they take the Prime Minister of India? Are you paying attention? Not the same diplomatic center that was not functioning, that wasn't fit for the Honorable Prime Minister to go to. They tried to give us the impression that when our former Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, left that place, they tried to give you the impression that it was not fit for human consumption.
It was not fit for human consumption. I want never drinking anything there. Huh? Not fit for human consumption, Penny. Oh gosh, man. Oh gosh, man. Use a different word now. Cheers. Now Trinidad and Tobago. The opposition leader then recalled that in 2021, under the then Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, the India government donated 40,000 COVID-19 vaccine to Trinidad and Tobago. She said this was never supported or acknowledged by Prasad Bisesa. So what I want to ask, where did the $3.6 billion go, Penny? I'm asking you to ask Klongin Boot. That is what I'm doing. Call a good night.
Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Londonville caller here.
You're live.
Just to be brief, I don't know if the Ministry of Education is aware of the exorbitant registration fees that the parents have to pay in order to register their children. I mean, there's a particular school in Central, I will not call the name, but they are charging quite an exorbitant fee to register your child. And secondly,
what school?
I don't know if you would have gotten any information with the online tax, that 7% if it was removed or not. So that is my contribution. Have a great time, Mr. Said. Great work.
Thank you, man. See if you can find out what school. Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to tell you something. We need responsible government. We don't need a do-care government. We need a representative that would get things done. That is what we need. Whether it's the UNC, whether it's PNM, we need to get things done. Because I'll tell you something. A party is selected by the people. We had the PNM administration for 9 years. General election call, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago did not like what the PNM party was doing to the citizens. So the citizens made a choice to vote out the PNM and vote in the UNC. So the UNC has been in office for approximately 2 months. All right. 1 month again. I am giving them 3 months. And after, I am going to ask them what was their accomplishment within 3 months. This is what I'm going to ask them. So I'm giving them 90 days or 100 days to settle in office, find out who's their staff, document in order, transparency, equal opportunity, every creed and race find an equal place. So the first 100 days I side, I'm giving them that time. I am not going to rush them or bad talk them or turn them down or imagine 9 years. 9 years the PNM was in government. And the UNC government is only in power about 2 months now. And I hear ministers, former ministers, calling the UNC ministers bandit. 9 years. Only run Trinidad and Tobago. Right? 9 years. 2 months now. Another party took over. All of them calling them bandit. Bandit should rob all you. sad. You was there for 9 years. For 9 years, you labeled UNC. Oh God, Kamala, and Kamala to blame, and Kamala to blame, and Kamala to blame, and Kamala. And you went on. You went on, ministers. Keith Rowley, leave all you now. You know, you're still blaming UNC. Because I heard some ministers on platform. Let me tell you something, it's degrading to listen to them. It sucks, it stinks. The UNC is banned. How the UNC is banned when they're only in office 2 months now? They're still trying to get paperwork together. Let me tell you something. For big, hard head individuals, ministers in the PNM administration, let me tell you something. All they had no shame. Long time. Old people used to say, dog eat out all their shame. It's sad. But nevertheless, for the last 8 years, I have been on TV supporting my program, and we got a lot of legislation and amendment push and pass for Trinidad and Tobago. You want to know why? You want to know why? I kept pressing. I kept pressing. Why we need this? Why we need that? Why we need next? I'm telling you what I want, and I'm giving you the reason. Today, the merit point system has been deleted. There are 6 criminal offense charges that are going to carry the demerit point system. For global, you ain't getting no demerit point system. You ain't getting that. You're going down the road and your tire smooth, you ain't getting no demerit point system. So I want to thank Eli. Who knows, he maybe just watching the show. Because I know a lot of government ministers watch the show. I do. But I just want to remind you all, Trinidad and Tobago, I am not a supporter of political party. I am not an independent senator. I am an individual in Trinidad and Tobago standing up for 1.4 million people. And I get my things done. But that's just me. That's just me. The grace of God is upon me. And I will continue here for the next 10 years getting things done for Trinidad and Tobago. That is what I will do. So we want to talk about the Education Ministry roll out AI-ready laptop. So viewers, the Ministry of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlett, have stated that 18,000 high-performance laptops will be distributed to Form 1 students as part of the government digital transformation plan for high schools.
We are in the process of procuring 18,000 laptops, not with minimum specs, but with high-performance specifications that can run learning platforms, productivity tools, and AI-powered applications. Our laptops will be AI-ready. These are not hand-me-down devices. They are future-ready machines that will empower students to compete globally.
Where's Gasby Dolly, who wanted to know what type of laptop? Well, you just heard it. However, Dowlett criticized the PNM laptop initiative, claiming it delivered just over 5,000 underpowered devices that failed to meet the 21st century learning needs. On infrastructure, Dowlett said 279 schools were found in despair. He accused the PNM of abandoning 93 school project started under the UNC between 2010 and 2015, even though 1.2 billion had already been spent. Dowlett.
We found over 279 schools were left in a state of disrepair. Leaking roofs, termite-driven beams, broken water tanks, collapsing classrooms. And let us not forget, there were 93 schools that were abandoned. Those schools were started under the UNC government between 2010 and 2015. And over 1.2 billion was already spent on with those contractors working. And those projects, those 93 projects, were deliberately abandoned by the PNM. And some of those schools were already over 90% completed.
Now, viewers, government will also begin repair works on UWI Debe campus shortly, says Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Showing pity from a campus tour, she said that in phase 1, a consultant will provide an assessment of completion for the existing campus.
We will begin work on this campus shortly. I'm telling you, we will begin work. We will engage a consultant who will then provide a scope of work for repairs and completion of the existing campus. First, we had to go in and see what's there. My ministers went, I think it's pictures on your screen, Minister Munilal, Minister Prakash Prasad and others visited the campus fairly recently. And we have to find out what is good and what is not good and what needs to be fixed. So the first thing, we will hire a consultant to do an assessment of what the scope of works would be. That will be phase 1.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the PM then stated that will take place in the second phase. So let's say what the second phase would be like.
And I give you this assurance, God willing, that will happen sooner than later in this vacation time, school vacation time. And then we will go to phase 2, when the scope of works is identified, to see what exactly now needs to be done. So the consultant will be brought on board in July. We believe repairs can begin in August and can continue thereafter. So Debe campus, I have not forgotten you.
So Trinidad and Tobago, hopefully soon, within a few months' time or before the end of the year, the Debe campus will be available for students of the South area. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, our run of this program is at 11:30 to 12:30 tomorrow, and we'll be right back here for another show. Until then, good night.